On the faraway island of Salamasand, Yertle the Turtle King was king of the pond. A nice little pond. It was clean, it was neat, the water was warm, there was plenty to eat. The turtles had everything turtles might need. And they were happy, quite happy indeed. They were, until Yertle the Turtle, the king of them all, decided the kingdom he ruled was too small. And he stood up on his feet and he said, I am the ruler. I am the ruler.
I'm the ruler.
Of all that I see.
That all I see.
But I don't see enough.
But I don't see enough.
That's the trouble with me.
That's the trouble with me.
If he could sit high, how much greater he'd be. What a king. He'd be ruler of all he could see. So Yertle the Turtle King lifted his hand, and Yertle the Turtle King gave a command. He said,
Begin.
Begin. He ordered 9 turtles to swim to his stone. And using these turtles, he built a new throne. Then Yertle climbed up. He sat down on the pile. What a wonderful view! He could see most a mile. And he said, all mine.
All mine.
Oh, the things I now rule.
Oh, the things I now rule.
And the cow came up and the house came and stood up in the house and waved at the audience and introduced himself and said, he's king of the house. Nice and loud.
He's king of the house.
And what's more, beyond that, the blueberry bush came up to the front of the stage and said, nice and loud.
King of the blueberry bush.
Yeah, one more time, nice and loud so everybody hears you.
King of the blueberry bush.
She sat down. And the cat came up and introduced herself.
Meow, he's king of the cats.
She came and sat in her spot. And they all said, he's Yertle the Turtle, oh marvelous he.
Yertle the Turtle, oh marvelous he.
For he is the ruler of all that he sees.
He is the ruler of all that he sees.
Nice and loud, 1, 2, 3.
So he is the ruler of all that he sees.
And all through that morning, he sat up there high until long about noon when he heard a faint sigh. And Mac went down to the bottom of the pile where his spot was. Go sit down. And he said, I have pains.
I have pain in my back and my shoulders and how long we have to stand here, Your Majesty, please. Silence.
The king of the turtles barked back.
I'm king and you're only a turtle named Matt.
You stay in your place.
You stay in your place.
While I sit here.
Well, I sit here and rule.
And the house said, he's king of the house.
He's king of the house.
And the bush said, and a bush.
And the bush.
Nice and loud. And the cat said, and a cat.
And the cat.
But that isn't all. He'll do better than that. My throne shall be higher, his royal voice thundered, so pile up more turtles. And the turtles way down in the pond were afraid. They trembled, they shook, but they came, they obeyed, and all of them stepped on the head of poor Mac.
Ouch! One after another climbed up the stack.
Then Yertle the Turtle was perched up so high he could see 40 miles from his throne in the sky. And the tree came up to the front of the stage, and she introduced herself and said,
She's king of the tree.
And she stood in her house spot. And the bird came up to the front of the stage, and the bird said, Seneca, are you a bird? Come up to the front of the stage and say your line nice and loud.
Tweet, 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 here's the bird.
And the bird went and stood in her house spot. And the bee came up to the front and introduced herself.
My house spot. He's king of the bees.
And the butterflies stepped up to the front of the stage. And they both said, the butterflies said, he's king of the beautiful butterflies like we.
Butterfly like me.
Yeah, on 3, nice and loud. 1, 2, 3.
He's king of the beautiful butterfly like me.
And they took a bow and smiled. And they went and sat down in their house spots. And they all said, he's king of the air.
He's king of the air.
Ah, me, what a throne.
Ah, me, what a throne.
What a wonderful chair.
What a wonderful chair.
And nice and loud they said, he's Yertle the Turtle, oh marvelous he.
Yertle the Turtle, oh marvelous he.
And Yertle said, for I am the ruler. Nice and loud he shouted, for I am the ruler of all that I see.
For I am the ruler of all that I see.
Then again from below, in the great heavy stack, came a groan from the plain little turtle named Mac. And Mac said,
Your Majesty, please, I don't like to complain, but down here below we feel great pain.
the turtles can't stand it. Their shells will all crack.
We're starving.
And everybody said, besides, they need food.
Besides, we need food.
And Mac said,
We're starving.
groaned Mac. And Yertle said, Yertle stood up at the pile and he said,
Mouth.
You hush up your mouth.
I am King Yertle.
I'm King Yertle.
You have no right to talk to the world's highest turtle.
You have no right to talk to the world's highest turtle.
And all the animals said, he rules.
From the clouds, over land, over sea.
There's
nothing, oh nothing,
that's
higher than he.
But while he was shouting, he saw with surprise that the moon of the evening was starting to rise up over his head in the darkening skies. And he said, what's that?
What's that?
Say, what is that thing that dares to be higher than Yertle the king?
What's that thing that dares to be higher than Yertle the king?
He said, I shall not allow it.
I shall not allow it.
I'll go higher still.
Higher still.
He'll build his throne higher. He can, and he will. He'll call some more turtles. He'll stack them to heaven. He'll need about 5,607. And then Max stood up very angrily, and he said, oh, Matt, can you stand up like you're angry and stomp your foot? And say your line. I've taken.
I've taken enough.
And he had. That plain little lad got a little bit mad. And that plain little Mac did a plain little thing. What'd you do, Mac?
I burped.
I'll say it one more time so the whole audience hears.
I burped.
Everybody went, and his burp shook the throne of the king, Yertle the Turtle. And the tree said, the king of the trees.
The king of the trees.
And the birds and the bees said, the king of the air and the birds and the bees. And everybody said, the king of a house and a bush and a cat.
The king of a house and a bush and a cat.
And And Max stood up and walked to the middle of the stage with his hands on his hips, face down and said, well, that is the end.
That is the end of the Turtle King's rule.
For Yertle, the king of all Salamasand, fell off his throne and went plunk in the pond. And Yertle said, and today, and he sat up, and he said, the great Yertle, the marvelous me, is king of the mud. That is all I can see. And the turtles, of course. All the turtles are free as turtles, and maybe
All creatures should be.
let's all step up to our line spots for the song. We are wonderful.
Yes, we are.
We are fabulous.
Yes, we are.
Beautiful.
We are beautiful. Yes, we are.
We're not
Yertle the Turtle,
but we all are stars. Let's all step up to our line spots and hold hands. And 1, 2, 3, up and down. And one more time. 1, 2, 3, up and down.
I'm thirsty.
So let's have the tree standing in the back.